Good evening, good people. Good evening. I'm still a little technically challenged. Please bear with me. I'm trying to. Oh, there we go. All right. Sorry. All right. Good evening, good people. Welcome to another 203K Tuesday. I am your host, Aaron, the house person, and this is the place where you come to find out everything you don't know about the 203K loan and learn how you can use that loan to help create, build, and sustain generational wealth. Today, in the spirit of this being the first day, right, the inaugural day of this season, the 2021 NBA season. In fact, the jump ball should have happened about 3 minutes ago or so. I'm not sure who won it, but in the spirit of the season that has started, I wanted to talk about your starting five, right? Who is on your team to help you achieve your goals in regards to renovations, right? That starting five. So let me pull up my PowerPoint real quick. Share screen. There we go. All right. All right. So your starting lineup. Who is on your team? This is a critical step, right? You have to know who's going to be on your team, and then of course you have to go out and recruit those people. So you're like the GM, you're the coach, you're the GM, you're the owner or future owner, depending on the situation, right? And so you want to make sure that your starting lineup is the strongest one possible, because that's going to dictate a lot of things as far as your 203K process, right? So the importance of having a good team can be the difference between overtime, right? On the left side, overtime. As you are going through the renovation process, sometimes things happen, right? Life happens to us all, right? And you may run into some hiccups in the renovation process, and it may cost you a little bit of time, right? It may be something that was unexpected, or maybe something that should have been expected, but wasn't caught because you had subpar people on your team. Having good people on your team is going to keep you, or at least as best as possible, right? Because again, things do happen, but as best as possible, keep you from having your project run overtime. And when I say overtime, that could be whatever time period that is best for you, right? You have up to 6 months to get a project complete. So it could be over that time, or it could just be, hey, you told me it's going to take about 3 months. I planned around 3 months. I need to move from where I am now into the house that you're working on, but you're telling me you're not done, right? So it could be whatever your time period is, but having that good person on your team, right? Those good team members, that good starting lineup gives you a better chance of your project finishing on time. And again, that's the time period that you needed to finish in, not with anybody else. Because again, this is all about you. You're the coach. You're the GM. You are the owner or future owner, right? So again, having that person on the right side can help you stay on time. Having those wrong team members on the wrong side can end up costing you and running overtime. Having the wrong person also can make you lose money, right? What do they say? Time is money. Time is money. So if you are spending more time on a project than allotted, than expected, chances are you're probably spending more money. Chances are that's money that you probably did not anticipate on spending, which means you are losing money. All because you had a bad team, right? All because you didn't start the process, this whole journey out with the right players in place. Right? Now, having those right players in place can help you actually make money. What does that mean, Aaron? Well, again, through forcing the appreciation, right? Through renovating, through construction, through upgrading, you are forcing the value of that property to go up. So whether it be a situation of you currently own the home and you're renovating to increase the value, right? Increase the worth, or whether you're purchasing the home from the beginning that's in need of repair and you're renovating and increasing the value, you are making money as your contractor is in there getting the work done, right? The difference between what you owe and what your home is worth is called equity. And that is one of the biggest things that you are creating for yourself as you go through that renovation process. And again, having the right people in place is going to help you make money or going to have you lose money. Now, I know personally, if you taking too long and you costing me money, I'm probably going to be just a little bit stressed out. Would you agree? Just a little bit of stress in this situation, maybe even a lot of stress in this situation. You know, people handle things differently, but I know that more time, more money, chances are it's going to create more stress. And that, again, that's all because you have the wrong team. You got to get yourself on the right side, because being on the right side with the right team members will then allow you to experience a less stressful situation. And that's what we want, right? We want to save some money, we want to save some time, and we want to be stress free, at least as stress less as possible. So that is the importance of having a good team, right? And that is the difference from when you have a bad team and when you have a good team, the right team. So let's go ahead and take a look at who our team is. Our starting lineup, the 203K done your way starting lineup. At point guard, dun, 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 dun. All right, okay. All right, but you got and let me just give you guys a little background. I'm a basketball coach. Well, I'm semi-retired, but from what I understand, I may be coming out of retirement. I'm hopeful, so that would be good. But anyway, I'm a basketball coach, and again, it is jump ball, which should have happened 10 minutes ago, right? So that's kind of why I have the whole starting lineup scenario. But this is your starting lineup if you are trying to get a renovation done. You got to have your point guard. Your starting point guard is going to be your realtor, right? That two guard, your shooting guard, is going to be your lender. The small forward is going to be your consultant. Power forward is going to be your contractor. And coming in that center is that title company. So let's break down each one. That realtor, your point guard, that's your floor general, right? Just like the point guard is your coach on the floor, as far as like basketball, right? Your realtor is going to be the facilitator. It's going to be that person that is bringing the team together, trying to make sure everybody is operating at their best capacity, right? Making the team better, passing the messages that need to be passed, checking on people, just doing what needs to be done in order to keep the team moving smoothly, moving well, and in order to, of course, achieve whatever your goals may be, which is a really nice finished product for you to move in, right? They're going to be the inventory locator. What does that mean, Aaron? They're going to be the person that's finding you those pieces of property, those units, those houses, those buildings, whatever you're looking for, and not just looking where you can look, because, of course, we know with information and technology, you guys can find houses as well. So can your realtor provide you with property that may be off market? Can your realtor provide you with ideas where you can find property that may be off market? Or is your realtor just looking online and searching through the same thing that you're looking through, right? But they're going to be that inventory locator. That person is finding you those properties that are off market. That's person that's giving you those creative ideas to help you best find the property and maybe even not compete with so many people in the process. They're going to be your negotiator. Oftentimes, well, let me back up. What do they say? You have not because you ask not, right? Closed mouth does not get fed. And oftentimes in life, we unfortunately do not receive what we deserve, right? But we can receive what we negotiate. So you want to make sure that your realtor is somebody who is out there, again, in your corner, making sure that they negotiate the best deal for you. Now, you do want that to be a win-win scenario, because when both parties walk away feeling like they won, that's just a happier scenario for all parties involved. But at the end of the day, your realtor is working for you, and you want them to negotiate their butt off for you. All right, so that's your floor general. Let's take a look at your two guard. Your shooting guard is going to be your lender. That is your shooter, right? Just like the shooting guard is typically your best shooter, best scorer, your lender is going to be scoring some funds for you. They're going to get you that money. They're going to get you the bag, as they say, right? Hopefully they got that good bank shot, that follow through sweep, right? They got a good bank shot so they can get you that money, and you can go on and get the project that you are looking to get, and everything works for you. Now, if you are not, as they say, finance ready, right? If you're not to the point where you can get qualified, that lender is going to guide you to the point of getting you qualified and then qualify you. Again, they're going to score you the funds. That is who you need on your team, not somebody that says, oh, I can't do it, see you later, right? You want somebody who's going to be solution oriented, somebody who is going to be pouring into your cup, trying to make sure that you get what you need when you need it and can achieve whatever your goal may be. All right. Hopefully, this person is going to secure you the cheapest money. As you are going through the process and shopping around, because you actually can do that. I say it's best that, or it's said that it's best that when you shop around, meaning you're speaking to more than one lender at a time, right? Seeing who can give you the best deal. It's best that you kind of do it within a 7-day period, and that's because typically it's, if you have more than one person hitting your credit report, it's typically viewed, well, excuse me, not more than one person, more than one lender, right? Got to be the same reason, right? But it's typically viewed as one inquiry. But what you don't want is to speak to 20 different people and have them all just pulling your stuff, right? So narrow it down to maybe like the best 3, and see who can get you, that cheapest bit of money. I mean, I understand they got to eat, right? Everybody's in business to provide for their family or themselves, but you want to make sure that they can try to just secure you that cheap money. And also, they're going to process all your financial documents for settlement. So you're going to turn in your W-2s. You're going to turn in your pay stubs. You're going to turn in bank statements, right? You're going to turn in 401k statements. You're going to turn in IRA statements. You're going to turn in all your financial documentation, and they're going to use all that information, including some other things along the way, in order to process and approve your loan. It's a lot of documentation that goes on the back end, and you'll see some of it when you actually get to the table and start doing this. But that person is just going to make sure, again, that they're doing the best for you, getting you those funds, right? Hopefully the cheapest rate, and of course, processing all the paperwork in order to get you to the closing table. That 3 position, the small forward, is going to be your consultant, right? That notable swing man. Just like the small forward is your most versatile player, the consultant is going to be that go-between, aka the tweener, right? They're going to be going between the lender and the contractor. And they're doing that to, of course, look out for your best interest. Okay. This person is going to create a feasibility study. They're going to conduct a feasibility study. They're going to come out and look at the house and let you know, hey, look, this doesn't even make sense to do. The amount of work that needs to be done here does not fit with the loan situation that you have. We may want to do, look at something else. Or let's see if we can move some things around to make it enough for you to move in. They'll work with you, but they're going to do that study to let you know if it makes sense. And their main focus is to make sure that the property meets FHA requirements. There's a laundry list of things that needs to happen in order for the house to be habitable per FHA guidelines, and of course safe. So their job is to make sure that those things have been checked off. So they're going to make a list of things that need to happen in the house. You're going to get that list. You're going to get with your contractor, and other things that need to happen. Guess what? You can choose the things you want to happen. So they may say, okay, you need a kitchen. Well, they're not going to tell you, you need to go pick this countertop. You need to go pick these cabinets. No, you get to pick those things, right? So they tell you what you need, and you can kind of get what you need in the form of what you want. But they're going to get that list together for you, and you'll have a copy of that. They're going to perform the draw request inspection. So as you go through the renovation process, even before that, rather, the consultant, once you have the scope of work, the amount of things that need to be done, the consultant's going to look at that and he's going to say, based off of this, we can do X amount of draws, up to 5, right? And of course, the larger the project, the more chance for increased draws. The smaller the project, you're probably looking at 1, maybe 2 draws. So there's certain things that the contractor needs to do within each draw period. And as those things are done, the consultant will come out, double check, make sure they have been completed, and then they'll go ahead and request that the lender release a draw. The draw, which is basically money coming from the bank, right? Because when you go through the process, there's a certain amount of money set aside for renovations. You don't get that money. The bank's going to hold on to it, and they're going to slowly release it per the consultant's approval, right? So you're going to get those draws. It's going to come to you. It's going to have your name on it. It's going to have the contractor's name on it. You sign the back of it, hand the check over to your contractor, and then they begin that next phase, and that continues until the end, where the consultant comes out, checks off on everything, and the contractor gets their final paperwork, or their final check, rather. All right, so that swing man. Next up is your power forward. That contractor, that physical player, right? And just like the power forward is that hard worker, that person doing the dirty work. Well, let me back up. So we more so obviously talking about the 90s now, right? Because most of the power forwards, or a lot of them now, are those stretch fours, and they just want to shoot. But we talking about 90s forwards here, folks. All right, so they the hard worker. They the ones in the trenches. They the ones down there doing the dirty work. The Charles Oakleys and Barkleys, those guys, old school power forwards, right? But the contractor is going to be doing that heavy lifting. They're the ones that's going to be out there swinging the hammer. They're the ones going to be, right, drilling those screws in, rebuilding your bathrooms, digging down in the basement to create a ceiling height that's legal in order for you to make that livable space, usable space, right? They're going to be doing all of that heavy lifting, getting dirty, down and dirty, right? They're also going to be pulling the permits and managing the subcontractor. So check with your local jurisdiction. But in most cases, when you want to do some work, you got to get some permits pulled, especially if you're talking about like electrical, plumbing, removing walls, building structures from the ground up, things like that. You got to get permits pulled. And some folks like to say it's a money grab, and it could be. I'm not here to argue that, but I will say that pulling those permits is more so of a precautionary method, right? It's a safety situation. You want to make sure that the work that's being done in your house is adequate. Not, you know what I mean? You want to make sure it's adequate. It's passing all the laws and all the codes and things of that nature, right? You want to make sure that everything is done to the highest quality standards. It's safe. And so pulling those permits will help you with that because it's called the checks and balances, right? You're making sure that people are doing what they need to do when they need to do it and doing it the right way. They're going to manage your subcontractors. You might need an electrician out there. You might need a carpenter, painter. You might need someone in, a masonry. They're doing some stone work in the front for you or whatever. Plumbers, whatever subcontractors you need, that contractor or that general contractor is going to be making sure those people are doing what they need to do when they need to do it and having them lined up in order. So when it's go time, all right, you up, let's go. All right. They're, at the end of the day, going to be making your vision and your dream a reality. Because, that's what we're here for. You say you want your house to look like this, and their job is to make your house look like this, right? So that's what your contractor, that power forward, is going to do for you. All right, so your center is your title company, that protector. Just like the center, defends the rim and the paint, right? They defending all that stuff down low. The title company is going to be defending your ownership rights. So what does that mean? All right, so in this process, when you're at the table, you have an option. But before the option, let's talk about the thing that you don't have the option that is absolutely mandatory. The lender is going to require you to get what's called lender's title insurance. And that is covering the lender in case something happened in the title, some type of issue. So maybe somewhere down the line, some title company that went out of business when the market crashed before, they didn't record a deed like they were supposed to. Maybe somebody was added to a deed, but it didn't get recorded. And so it's just one owner still on the deed, but really there should be two because everything was notarized, everything was done like it was supposed to be. You got a copy of your paperwork or that person, but title company didn't do what they needed to do with the local jurisdiction as far as recording it. But somebody comes and knocks on your door. I guess now they pushing the Ring doorbell, right? And they're saying like, "Hey, where's Uncle Dave? And why are you in our house?" And of course, you're taken back because I don't even know who Uncle Dave is. But what I do know is I bought this house, and what I don't know is why you up here talking about this you and Uncle Dave house, right? It's possible that person actually has a claim to the property because something was not recorded, because somebody dropped the ball and maybe even kicked it down the street, and that person is coming to you or coming to the house that they believe is theirs, basically saying you need to get out, right? In that scenario, the lender's title insurance policy will cover the lender fighting to try to hold their, equitable right into that property because they just lent you money to purchase that property. So somebody owe me money, right? Now, the optional part is title insurance, the owner's policy, owner's title insurance. It is optional, but I implore people that if you can, please, 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 just consider it mandatory. Just get it. It's a one-time fee, right? You pay that settlement. You don't have to worry about it anymore. It's called peace of mind. And peace of mind is priceless. It's not going to be a huge fee. And again, like I say, it's rolled into your closing costs. So just get it. But what it does is it covers you. So if you need to go to court saying, "Hey, I paid for this house. This is my house." But guess what? That title insurance policy now just paid for your attorney to fight for you to keep your house. But if you don't get that policy, I hope you watched a lot of episodes of Matlock, Perry Mason. I don't know if you got a lawyer, attorney in your family, but somebody's gonna have to represent you. And if it's not a competent person, chances are you may lose your house. So again, better to have and not need, and need and not have. They're going to be protecting you. And in addition to that, the title company's job is to check the chain of title, right? They're going to make sure that as best as possible, because again, things happen, they're going to make sure they don't see anything where this particular seller can't legally sell you the property. They're going to make sure that this person is the actual owner and they can transfer ownership to you through the sale. All right. So defending your ownership rights. They're going to be clearing all of the liens and debts. You don't want to buy a property with a cloud just over top of it, right? They're going to be clearing out, zeroing out all the liens and debts to make sure that you get a property free and clear of any pre-existing financial burdens, right? You don't have to deal with that. Fresh slate, and that's exactly what you want. And they're going to execute the terms of the contract and record the sale. So depending on your situation, if you are somebody who's actually purchasing the property, right, you and the seller both pay the title company. Depending on your state law, I know here in Maryland, by law, the buyers are able to select their title company. So although you do select your title company here, the title company does not work for you. Their job is to execute the terms of the contract and also to make sure that they have checked the ownership chain and that person can actually legally get you that contract, or excuse me, get you that, sell you that house, right? And their job is to then go and record it to make sure that there is a record and your position has been recognized and recorded. All right, so that is your center, your protector. So there's no Q&As right now, right? But yeah, man, that is so here, of course, this is our contact information. 844-937-2035. It's also 844 yes 203K. That's what those numbers are. 844 yes 203K. Any questions? You guys can definitely email at info@203K done your way. Of course, you see the website. You can, of course, follow us here on Facebook, and you can check us out over there on the Instagram live. Well, not live, but on Instagram at 203K done your way as well. So, yeah, that's your starting five, y'all. That is your starting lineup. Those are the people you need to have on your team in order to hopefully successfully navigate that renovation process, right, from start to finish, whether you are somebody who is a buyer looking to do it, or whether you are someone who is a current homeowner looking to do that. Yeah, and it's important that, again, you vet those people, you ask them those questions. And we do have a list of 10 questions. It's a flow chart, right? 10-question flow chart that you're going to ask your lender, that you're going to ask your contractor, right? That you're going to ask your realtor, that you're going to ask your consultant. And let me go back to the consultant. You really want your consultant to be a home inspector if you can help it, right? Now, your consultant can be quite a few things. They can be an actual building engineer. They can be a general contractor, right? But you definitely want someone who can detail the house very well. And as far as getting a consultant, because you got to get a home inspection anyway, it kind of makes sense that that consultant is a home inspector. So if you are doing you got two types of 203Ks. You got the full 203K, which is anything above $35,000. If you do that, you have to get a consultant. It's mandatory. There's nothing you can do about it, right? Anything under 35 is limited. It's not necessary or not mandatory for a consultant, but it is suggested, in my opinion, because again, that person is going to be looking out for your best interest, and the money that you spend, I think is going to be well worth it. Whether you are someone who is doing a full 203K, which is above 35,000, or someone who is doing a limited one, which is below 35,000, and really is below 30, because you got to have that little cushion in there. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for y'all today. We're at 7:32. I appreciate y'all staying over for the extra 2 minutes. But again, you had the contact information. Any questions you guys have, I am Aaron Person, Program Director of the 203K Done Your Way program, where we economically rehabilitate the community one house at a time. And we do so by educating you guys, right? And not only educate you, but then we hold your hand and walk you through the process from start to finish. So that's all I got for you guys. Thanks for joining me today. This is going to be the last 203K Tuesday for this crazy year of 2020 that we've been experiencing. I want you guys to enjoy the rest of this year as best as possible. This is a very different and difficult year for many people. A lot of people have suffered quite a few losses, and the unfortunate reality is we're not quite through the woods yet. But I would implore you to love on and hug on your loved ones, rekindle things with those that you had beef with, and you guys were fussing over something that really, at the end of the day, is not that big of a deal, right? Rebuild that bridge. Even if the bridge only goes halfway, you did your part, right? And just try to enjoy the rest of this year. Just make as many positive memories as you possibly can. However you spend Friday, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Feliz Navidad, Happy Kwanzaa. Yeah, that's not the right one. But however you spend your Christmas, your holiday season, this time until the end of the year, please do it in joy. Please do it in love. And you guys make sure you are extremely safe for the new year, New Year's Eve. And I will see you guys, I believe it's January the 2nd. I will be back on here for the first 203K Tuesday of 2021. Again, that is all I have. My name is Aaron, the House Person. I'll see you guys on the other side. See you next year. Take care. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and ring that bell. Thanks for watching.